Real good. Yeah. Don't tell my. Uh-huh. Hey, no, I get it. Back to business. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Okay, okay, bye. That was you guys in the comments section, and apparently, as it turns out, you guys kind of want more Switch dives. So buckle up. We're gonna do the next 3 weeks of Switch games because there's not very much coming out in the next 2 weeks. So it's the end of the year. It happens, right? So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Let's get into everything coming out on the Switch in the next 3 weeks. All right, so first up, we have tomorrow, December 27th. Are you ready? Fuck, just kidding. Not $5. $7. Balloon Fight is basically an old Nintendo game where you had 3 balloons on your back. Think like Mario Kart, three balloons on the back of your Mario Kart, and then you fly around the arena and you try to just pop the other people's balloons. I think you can throw little rocks at them. But anyway, it was an old game on the NES that predates even me. I know I'm about 100 years old, but anyway, that'll be out tomorrow. It's moving quickly into the new year on January the 2nd. We have a game called Link-a-Pix Deluxe. This looks to be like one of those Nonary games again. I was talking about these on Steam in the last episode of that. For $8, you can pick this game up where clue linking logic using numbers is kind of what you're given, and you have to grid out the picture and paint with the clues that you get via the numbers that you get. I don't understand this. I guess it was originally on the 3DS, maybe something like that. They did mention that, and there's just extra puzzle. I don't understand the appeal of a game like this. Like, you can just draw on graph paper on your own. It's kind of the same thing, and it'll save you like at least $6.50. Moving on to January 3rd, we have Dr. Kawashima's Brain Training for the Switch. This one's only coming to Europe on the 3rd of January. So we're not getting an immediate America release of this, but if you know anything about brain training, you know that you just try to solve as many problems or draw pictures or whatever it is as quickly as possible, and that helps keep you, I guess, active, keeps your mind active and sharp and everything like that. And so for those of you who are into this kind of thing, it'll be on the Europe or the UK Play Store on the 3rd of January. On the 6th of January, we have a game called Blackmore 2. I was not familiar with Blackmore 1, but there's a second one. The Traitor King is what this one's called for $10. It's a cartoonish action brawler kind of a game where you could get 4 of your friends, play co-op through this, use fists and swords and magic and all these other things to kind of RPG your way through the areas. It's very, very, very cartoonish, if that isn't super clear. They kind of take a 90s style to the game. Almost looks like it would be a mobile game, but this one actually I don't think has ever been released on mobile. I think that's just the aesthetic that they're using. So that's on the 6th. After that, we have Ultimate Racing 2D, which is a top-down, like F1 racing kind of a game where, I mean, you're familiar with this. You know, if you ever played some of these on the NES way back in the day, you're familiar with the toy car racing game. I don't even know what maybe it was a rally race or something like that. But it's a top-down, you can see most of the track as you play, and you just drive your cars through all the different courses and tracks and challenges and things like that. Never been my cup of tea, right, with the top down. I'm kind of a first person kind of a guy. I want to grab the steering wheel, kind of see the windshield wipers, mess with my headlights, honk the horn. You can't do that in this one, but you can get a top down view on your racing there, and that'll be $10. Oh, age verification. I'm already excited. This next one is so strange. So this is also on the 6th. It's called The Invisible Fist, and for $10, you can play one of 3 characters who's fighting the invisible fist of the free market in this late-stage capitalism card game. You basically battle a fist of like an invisible fist boss, and you have a deck, some kind of a deck building game. Like, I really don't get it. But you're supposed to like progress through the story and the narrative, and then you kind of choose what actions you're going to take and how you're going to combat this, the invisible fist of capitalism. It's very strange. I don't even really know what joke I would make here other than this is a joke of a game that no one's going to want to buy. All right, completely switching gears to a game that actually looks really cool. On the 9th of January, you'll be able to pick up a game that's just called 140. I don't know what 140 is. It may be 140 beats per minute, I would guess, is to what they're alluding to there. But it's a rhythm platforming game, and I've never really seen anything like this besides, I guess the closest is like Bit Trip Runner a little bit. But basically, you move through a world as a little block, as either a square or a triangle, whatever, and you have to do all this platforming, and the stage and the platforming is controlled by the music. So when a beat hits or a hi-hat hits, like blocks will appear. When that hi-hat hits again, or whatever that beat hits again, that platform might disappear and another one might appear. Think those Mega Man blocks in the Mega Man games that are like do do do, yeah, but to the beat of a music. And the stage, like, you know, blocks will come down, try to smash you to the beat and the rhythm. It sounds so cool, and I'm very excited to give this a try. I will definitely be doing a first impressions of this, and that's going to be $5. All right, this next one is called Thoth. It looks like you're moving around the stage trying to shoot and destroy the blocks and solve various puzzles. I'm not sure what the puzzle element is because, again, the video is really nondescript, but you can play this alone or cooperatively with a friend and challenge each of these different levels and the puzzles that they have. But they should try, this studio should try probably not to make like 9 games that all have kind of the same theme. They should branch out a little bit. There are other shapes out there, other colors. Moving into January 10th, our first game up is called Aborigines. It's $5, and it's basically an RPG platformer where you choose your class. You're going to learn new abilities. They have a perk system or a skill system. And one of the important features that they do list here is that you can ride on a chicken, which for some people may be the #1 most important feature. But it looks, you know, like just a new kind of platformer and RPG platformer game. This is kind of what you expect from Nintendo. This kind of a game all the time. Just iterations and iterations on this type of game. Next up is called Technosphere Reloaded for $15. You can play as a sphere, also known as just an advanced circle, and roll your ass around the different stages and solve puzzles, kind of like Monkey Ball, but way slower and way more puzzles. So really all that it has in common with Monkey Ball is that it does involve a ball and rolling. But yeah, you roll through. It has kind of a neat soundtrack, it seems like, solve puzzles, get through the stages, and you have a limited time. And so that's what they say. Probably it's not true. You probably have, like, you know, as much time as you want. But anyway, that's not important. Oh, I'm very excited. Next up is called Drunk Fu Wasted Masters. Now this is going to be a multiplayer, kind of like a party game where you have 4 people in a stage, in an arena. There's going to be, you know, projectiles and objects you can grab and throw and fight with. And this one actually supports online multiplayer, which thank fuck for that, because there have been so many of these party games that are only local co-op, and most people, you don't have friends? I don't have friends? Come on, what am I supposed to do? I can't do anything with that. So this is a physics-based ragdoll brawler that they claim it is. And so it looks, again, I always compare these games to Gang Beasts. If you ever played that on Steam, it's a great game, you should check it out. But this just looks like it is absolutely going to be a ton of fun. And for $5 when this comes out with online multiplayer, absolutely, this is going to be a must-buy if you're looking for just a fun party game. Moving into January 14th, we have a series of games that I don't know how they're going to get anyone to buy these. They're called the Atelier series, and they're actually releasing 3 of them at the same time. Was that? Yeah, it's 3. 3 of them at the same time. The first one in the series is called Atelier Ayesha, The Alchemist of Ducks DX. This is the deluxe version. I guess it's a remake. The second one in the series is going to be Atelier Esha and Logi, Alchemist of the Dusk Sky. That's also deluxe. And then Atelier Shale, Alchemist of the Dusk Sea. I don't know. The Atelier games are all the same. There is a story, you go out, you fight, you craft stuff, there's an RPG system, but each of these games in the series is $36 or $39 actually. They're going to discount when they release for $36, but $40 a piece normally. So you're going to pay just a stupid amount of money. Like, I don't know why they didn't bundle these together. I don't know. Really questionable decisions. But if you're an Atelier fan, just prepare to pony up a ton of cash on the 14th of January. If you'd like to spend not that much money on the 14th, you can also buy, or instead buy, a game called Super Mega Space Blaster Special Turbo Edition, which is kind of like a remake of an old Space Galaga arcade shooter kind of a game. And the idea is the same. You're just in space. Enemies are going to kind of move into your vicinity. You're going to have to shoot them using, you know, your ship and power-ups. And there's, I think they say like 14 or 15 different ships and blasters that you can kind of use. And again, as you progress, you're going to have different upgrades and stuff like that. Moving into the 15th of January, just one game. We have Puzzle and Dragon Gold. If you know anything about this, you'll know it's a smash success on mobile phones. I don't know why I said it like that. Is as if there was like an immobile phone on mobile phones. Anyway, this is coming out. If you know anything about it, it seems like a match game where you're matching spheres and things, and this version does say that they're gonna have a PvP mode so you can verse other players online in some kind of an interesting way, and there's a story that you can play through as well. So for those of you who are attached at the hips to your mobile phones, you'll be able to also be attached to the Switch version. Moving into the 16th of January, we have a game called Sorry, James. Get fucked, James, I guess. And it is a story-driven narrative puzzle game where you're going to be solving puzzles that I guess they say are inspired by Sudoku and Minesweeper. So some kind of number puzzle with a grid is what you'll be expecting. In the features on the Nintendo page, it says they have half 100 levels, which I don't know if you guys are in the know about this, but half 100 is also known as 50. And they say it'll have about 3 to 6 hours of gameplay, and that'll be $5. Next up, we have a game called My Tetsu Pure Station, which looks like an inappropriate game about little girls, but they swear it's all about trains and the story of about a family that was involved in some kind of a train accident. I don't know that I buy it, because looking through the screenshots is super questionable. After that, we have a game called Super Crush KO for $15. You can play an action platformer set in a super vibrant and colorful world, like a pastel paradise, of this game where you fight through enemies and you save the world. And they just say it's a lightning fast gameplay that combines run and gun action and beat 'em up combat. And I mean, I believe it. They also have an online leaderboard and a ranking system so you can, keep challenging other pastel superheroes in Super Crush KO and make sure you're always at the top. Also on the 16th of January, another visual novel puzzle story game is called Self. This will be $7. Yeah, from everything I'm seeing, it looks super abstract and kind of creepy a little bit. I can't really tell much about the puzzles, and it's because they're just so strange. They say that it has some bullet hell minigames inspired by Undertale and Just Shapes and Beats, but there's also other weird puzzles with a really kind of old school 2D narrative twist on it. It's all kinds of weird, and they have multiple endings that is super clear, and there's just if you've played a visual novel before, you know kind of what to expect here a little bit. It's just going to be a very, very strange take with the graphical style that they've adopted. Lastly, on the 16th, we have one last game called To the Moon. Now, this is going to be a port from an older Steam game of the same name. I think they also released it on mobile. It's a game that was done in RPG Maker, and this is one of the only games that I will ever say this about. It's apparently actually very good. It has tremendous ratings on the Steam store, and the game features no combat whatsoever. So really think about that. Is an RPG, made in RPG Maker. No combat, not a single fight, apparently, in the entire game. I've never played it, but this might be the time I finally check it out. The idea is that it's just an extremely engrossing story that is told from the perspective of two people moving through life. And so definitely if you're into just story, this may be exactly what you're looking for. And just as a bonus here, on the 16th of January, they're also releasing a new Wii U game called Regina and Mac for $10, which looks like a children's platforming kind of just silly cartoonish game. I did not realize that they were still really making Wii U games. I didn't think that was a thing, because I just thought we had moved into the Switch era. I didn't realize we're still making old stuff. But okay, someone I guess probably still uses the Wii U. I guess maybe they should probably do a Switch. Moving to 2020. Okay. Anyway, so that's it. That was your game list for the next couple weeks here on the Switch. Not too much coming out, nothing crazy exciting, no big releases, certainly. You're gonna start to see those at the end of January and then into February and getting into the summer months. But at the end of December, when they kind of close out the year, developers don't really release too much, or at least they don't release those big titles. You're not going to see those giant, like you're not going to see a Call of Duty come out in January. You know, they're not going to do that. And so again, there is still some cool stuff. There's little indie titles that, you know, $4 or $5 for some of these really cool puzzle games and stuff like that. So as always, you know, hopefully you found something in this list that you might go, you know, wish list or buy now even, because a lot of these I believe you can pre-purchase on Nintendo's website right now. So yeah, hopefully, again, you pick up one of those, and hopefully these videos are still useful. Definitely let me know in the comments down below if you end up buying one of these games, or you're excited about something, or you see something you didn't know about that maybe you're gonna go pick up. For me, rhythm games. I'm all about that game 140. That's definitely what I'm kind of dialed into right now. And if you, again, like spending money, you could buy 3 Atelier games. I don't know when you're gonna have time to play 3 all at once on the same day, but you know, you do you. Anyway, that's it. So we're going to wrap up there. As always, let me know what you think. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I do enjoy talking to you guys about games and all this stuff. You can get involved, join the Discord with other people who talk shit to each other all day and play games. Support me on Patreon if you want to do that and get involved that way, so I can keep doing these videos full-time all the time. I know you're sick of hearing me talk, but that's what I do. And until next time, I'm Bright, everybody.